Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Sayana Goria here back with FemHealth. I am talking to Dr. Kim Thornton today. She is an REI specialist with RMA of New York. And today we're going to be talking about what is the best time to get pregnant during your menstrual cycle. Welcome, Dr. Thornton, and please take the floor.
Thank you for having me. So the best time to try to get pregnant, or really the only time we have good chances of conception during pregnancy, is around the time of ovulation. So most women, we consider the first day of your full flow or the first day of your menstrual cycle, day one of your cycle. Most people ovulate mid-cycle. So like somebody with 28-day cycles, it's probably going to be somewhere around day like 13 to 15. Give or take. If your cycle is a little bit shorter, you probably ovulate a little bit earlier in your cycle. If it's a little bit later or longer periods, it's probably a little bit later. Sperm can live in the female genital tract, though, for 3 to 5 days. So you do not have to have intercourse on the exact day of ovulation to be able to get pregnant. It just needs to be somewhat during that time frame. So some people will just have intercourse, almost every day or every other day during that mid-cycle time frame to make sure that they're not missing ovulation. Other women like to use those ovulation predictor kits that you can kind of get at any drugstore, where you check your urine and they'll give you, depending on the kit, like a flashy sign or a smiley face, and what that measures the hormone that triggers ovulation. So when you see that, it means you're going to ovulate the next day. The flashy smiley face that day, and then the following day are like the two highest yield days for having intercourse, because we know that the egg fertilizes within 12 to 24 hours of being released. And it's not harmful to have intercourse at other times in your menstrual cycle. Those are just going to be the times that are most high yield for pregnancy. It is also not harmful to have intercourse every day. It's a question I get asked all the time. People always think every other day is better. We usually say every other day because it can be cumbersome for a lot of people to have intercourse every day. But if somebody wants to have intercourse every day, we do see slightly higher pregnancy rates, but it's almost equivalent to every other day if you're not tracking with ovulation kits.
Yeah, I was told like every other day because of like sperm counts being decreased in between. I don't know how much. I mean, clearly there's no difference in pregnancy rate. So
there can be special considerations, like if a partner has abnormalities with their sperm and they at baseline have a low sperm count, those are individuals where sometimes we will tell them to abstain. So a lot of times patients like that will need to do, like, let's say an IUI, insemination, or for pregnancy. So we'll say, okay, leading up to it, abstain for a couple of days to build up the sperm concentration. But men with normal sperm parameters, it's actually a little bit higher pregnancy rates with daily intercourse at the time of ovulation.
what about sorry.
But nothing that's really too significant. So that's why every other day is pretty much just as good.
What about having sex before you ovulate? That's not going to work.
So it can, because the sperm can hang out there for 3 to 5 days. So you're more fertile before you ovulate, really, than like a couple days after ovulation.
Right.
Once the egg is released, there's such a short time frame for it to fertilize. It's almost better to have intercourse the days leading up to ovulation, so that the sperm's like waiting there for the egg. Really, if it's more than 24 hours after ovulation, it's kind of too late.
Okay. So earlier is better than too late. Okay. That makes sense. So if you are someone who has kind of established when you ovulate, what happens with each subsequent cycle? Can you just randomly start ovulating on a different day, or is it usually the same, or is it unpredictable?
There's usually a little bit of variability from cycle to cycle. Most people don't ovulate on the exact same day every single cycle, but if your menstrual cycles when you're getting your period are, usually pretty consistent, it's going to be around that time. Like, it might be a day sooner, a day later, but it should still roughly be in that time frame. It's mostly difficult for women who have very irregular cycles, because that means their time frame of ovulation really is varying a lot from month to month. And cycle to cycle.
Yeah, it was interesting with me. With my first pregnancy, I was ovulating on day 14, like right in the middle. And then with my second one, I missed the mark a little bit. I found out that I was ovulating on day 18. And that was really unusual for me. I used one of those predictor kits. So I thought, Why not ask the expert?
It's more common as women get older to ovulate earlier in their cycles. It's more common for our menstrual cycles to start to shorten. Like, so if someone has like 28 days, they may say, well, now I'm starting to see 26 days. But of course, not a one size fits all. And every cycle, like I said, I see patients, we monitor ovulation. 1 month they ovulate on day 14, and then the next month, day 17. So there is always a little bit of variability.
So what you're telling me is that I'm going to have more periods as I get older.
Unfortunately, that's what happens to most of us.
Okay. I wasn't prepared for that. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. That was really helpful. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for being here. That was really helpful. I know so many people are going to find value in this video. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.